Hello and welcome to Bites of Basketball, presented by $3 Deweys. I'm Spencer Martin. With us, Celtics guard forward Hank Morgan, joining the show. Hank, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Here at $3 Deweys, and we were just briefly talking about being thrust into life in the G League, thrust into life with the Celtics.
Yeah.
You were previously with Salt Lake City. We'll talk about that a little bit, but when you joined Maine, it wasn't even here in Portland.
Yeah.
You got a call, like you said, on a Thursday, and you flew into South Dakota, right? Like, what was that process like, and then playing that day?
Yeah, that's the life of the G League, I guess. You get a call at like 9, 10 p.m. on a Thursday night, and you're on a flight at 6 a.m. on Friday morning, and you got to play at 7 p.m. on Friday night. And in that situation, I flew from Newark to South Dakota, played that night, and then we had a bus after the game on Friday to Iowa.
Yeah.
Play the next day in Iowa. So I joined them at kind of a crazy point in their road trip. And for me, it was just 0 to 100 because I was home working out, and then all of a sudden I'm playing back-to-back games. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Originally from New Jersey, you're rocking Hamilton College,
Yeah, I am.
a D3 product in the NESCAC. How did you end up going to Hamilton? As we know, you have to be a pretty smart guy to go play in that conference, play at that level. What was that process from high school that made Hamilton the right fit for you?
Yeah, I think in high school I played 4 years at a public school in Caldwell in Jersey, and then I did a prep year, which was during COVID, at Berkshire School in Massachusetts. But COVID kind of shut everything down there.
Right.
So I had kind of just gone with the recruitment that I had from my senior year at public school, which was just D3s, kind of like mid to high academic D3s. I was just a late bloomer. I physically probably needed to grow into my body a little bit, maybe still do even. And Hamilton was, they recruited me kind of the most consistently, and Coach Stockwell did a great job of that, and I thought they had a great program, so I ended up going with them.
And you had a great experience, top 10 scoring all time, got to the tournament a couple times, you won the NESCAC. What was it about the Division III experience? Because, talking with some of the other guys, Kim Warren's at D2, talk about like the purity and the love of the game of basketball. Like when you're playing Division III, your academics are important, but you have a true love to compete. So what was that experience like? How did it shape you?
Yeah, it was very important to me. It's very special to me. I think, like you said, you have to love it, and it's kind of up to you as to how much you're going to put into that, the basketball side of things when you're at a D3 school, because you don't have quite as many obligations like the D1 programs, lay out for you. But it was also really hard. I think, you are familiar with it, but I think a lot of people aren't familiar with how competitive Division III basketball is, especially in those conferences like the NESCAC, UAA. And it's a really hard thing to do to, perform and win and succeed at the Division III level. So it's a very special sort of basketball, and it has like a, place in my heart always, for sure.
And basketball fans know about the NESCAC here with Bowden, Bates, Colby, and I've asked you before, you've told me you're not a big fan of Colby, probably the Mules low on your list, right?
I guess so, yeah. I guess they're the lowest of the main teams.
And then favorite venues, Alumni Gymnasium. I saw you made 10 threes against Bates at Alumni Gym, right?
That might be wrong.
I
don't know if that's right.
We got to call Hamilton up.
Yeah, we're going to have to check the film on that one, but I love the Bates gym. It's a shooter's gym for sure. Bowden's got a nice gym as well, and then Colby obviously built their big facility. So yeah, I'm familiar with being in Maine around January, February to play some basketball.
Yeah.
So
at the conclusion of your career at Hamilton, when did you what was that process where you thought, I may be able to play professionally?
Yeah.
With maybe agents involved, different scouts, like what was that timeline of graduating from the D3 level, and then now you're looking at a jump to the pros?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to try to play at least. It really came to fruition after my senior year, as I was able to have a really good year, get the accolades that I had wanted, and had good enough stats to kind of start having conversations with agents and start thinking about it as a more real goal.
Right.
And so I kind of, right after the season ended, I kind of started, making those calls and having those conversations through contacts that I had, and just started actually working toward, the professional goal. So
And a part of that story was the basketball tournament, right?
Yeah.
This really awesome tournament that's gained steam in recent years. You play for $2 million. You're part of a team of all D3 guys. And you got to the semifinals.
Yeah.
You beat UConn alums. You beat
Yeah.
Syracuse alums. I know that was a part of getting you on the radar. What was that experience like, and how did that maybe validate the journey that you were embarking on?
Yeah, that was a great experience. I played with We Are D3 in TBT, and it was a great kind of segue for me from college into professionalism, playing with older guys, playing with guys who had played overseas and in the G League, and just gave me kind of that first professional experience that I could kind of build on, and I was able to get some significant minutes in a couple of those games and really contribute in a real way. So it was a great experience for me. Yeah.
You find your way to the Salt Lake City Stars, and that still is a really good team this year.
Yeah.
Showcase champs. I mean, there's a lot of great things with that organization. Did you have a welcome to the G League moment with that organization? I'm looking at guys like Oscar Shibwe, Mo Bamba. I mean, where you're kind of like, here's that jump again from D3 to the NBA G League.
Yeah, it probably in practice just getting pinned by Mo or Oscar on the backboard going up for a layup, realizing you either got to dunk it or kick it out, because you got athletes all around you, and so it changes the way that you approach each and every play. And that experience was really great for me to just kind of get thrown into the fire like that my rookie year. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
How have you drawn on your past experiences? You talk about the difficulties of the NESCAC and the unique talents of athletes there and the unique competitive nature of it. How has it helped you in the G League this season?
I think the level of coaching in the NESCAC is very detail-oriented. X's and O's are the highest level that you'll find. Right. And you learn the game, you learn IQ there, and there are some really great players too. But I think from a game planning standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, like I learned everything that I could have learned from the NESCAC, and so I feel like I was never lagging behind with that part of basketball, even at this level when I first got to the G League. So it definitely helped me a lot in that regard.
That whirlwind week when you joined Maine Celtics, it was in South Dakota and Iowa. It was followed up with, obviously, the Jayson Tatum has really controlled the narrative around the Celtics this season. We all understand why. And assigned to the Maine Celtics, talk about that D3 to G League route, and then next thing you know, you're guarding Jayson Tatum in a practice, and that's just a closed event, part of his recovery. But got to be Phil talked about that. It's another, he called it a carrot.
Yeah.
It was a carrot for guys to fuel you in your journey. How did that experience resonate with you?
It was, I had never played with a player of that caliber. I mean, I think Tatum is, number one in the world at his position. At least last year he definitely was. So just being able to meet him and guard him a little bit and see kind of how he works, how he approaches practice, and also feel what it's like to have to play against him. I think calling it a carrot is a great way to describe it. But I felt like I played pretty well that practice and kind of gained some confidence from it, and that was great for me in every way. Yeah.
What about you off the floor? What did you major in at Hamilton? What pursuits would you like to enjoy? What do you want to pursue professionally away from the game?
Yeah, I majored in philosophy at Hamilton. Took a lot of those, reading, writing classes. I didn't take any math or science at Hamilton. I got away from that. But I actually really like philosophy. I like reading about different perspectives and reading things that are written by very smart people. And I actually apply it a lot to basketball, just the way you think about the world. And so, reading philosophers like Nietzsche or like the Stoics, I think there's just so much value in their work that can be applied to anything, no matter what you're doing. So I have a lot of fun with that. And then now, yeah, you're right. I gotta figure out some other business plans outside of basketball. I like training kids. I do that at home a lot.
Nice.
Skills training. I'm really into that. Who knows? Maybe I'll coach down the line or something along those lines. But I got to figure that out. Yeah, that's my next step.
You must have. Head coach Philip Presti always says like he wants to know the person behind the player.
Mm-hmm.
You guys must have bonded. I always say Coach Presti's pretty philosophical in his own right.
Yeah.
What's that relationship been like? You guys are building on the
Yeah.
fly because he's definitely into reading as many different philosophies, basketball or unbasketball related as possible.
Yeah, we definitely clicked right away. He did his research on Hamilton a little bit.
Did he?
He gave me the Know Thyself, which is Hamilton's kind of school saying.
Okay.
So he dropped that on me and asked me a little bit about philosophy, and I like chopping it up with him about it. Yeah, he's got a great philosophical mind for sure.
Yeah. You go from New Jersey, like you said, you spent a year in Mass, over in Utah. How do you like in Maine?
I love Maine. Yeah, this is a great spot to be around this time. You guys have a great basketball community, one of the best in the G League for sure. I'll see people on the street or in a restaurant or shop and just have great conversations with them about how they went to the game or they love basketball or whatever it may be. So I've really enjoyed it so far. Yeah.
Well, I like to joke. I think I missed it on air last game. I call you the people's champ. I mean,
That's funny.
you're someone people can relate to and strive to emulate. Even if people are underestimating the athletic ability you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
What is your advice to people who share a similar journey, even athletes at D3 level right now who don't know if they can continue their passions professionally?
I think my best advice would be, a lot of people will ignore you, will make you feel small, will make you feel like you don't belong, based on your label,
Right.
And my label has always been Division III, and I felt like sometimes I didn't get the respect that I wanted because of that. But I didn't let it stop me from loving the work and just loving every part of the process. So I think just not letting any of those external factors influence the internal, influence your own kind of drive and motivation internally, and you'll go farther than you could ever have thought before,
You're changing those labels. You're shooting over 40% from three.
Yes, sir.
What excites you the rest of the way? You guys just got a handful of games left this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can make the playoffs. We're going to have to win a lot of games to do that, so that's our goal. I want to win games. I haven't won enough since I've been here, so I think we all wanted to do that. And then we got one more game in Long Island, which is close to home for me, so I'm excited about that.
Love it. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate talking to you, and
Thank you.
thanks so much for watching Bites of Basketball.